What's going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, giofvcks. And I'm going to say this. Got to give credit where it's due. Hassan Campbell was right. Yes. Hassan Campbell was right. He was right in regards when he was talking about Black Lives Matter, the organization, not the movement. The movement is not the organization. Okay? The organization with Tamika Mallory and all those high-profile people who seem to be the figureheads, the spokesperson, if you will, the celebrity activists who seem to get all of the praise. And I'm not trying to take away from nobody, but it needs to, what Hassan Campbell said numerous times, multiple times, various times is true. I made a video literally January 2019, 2 years ago, explaining why I left the so-called black conscious, so-called black woke community. And this is one of the many reasons why. You got all these people who are literally making money hand over fist, making money because people are suffering and being oppressed. And in many cases, it's like they're oppression pimps. You got people who are literally making a name for themselves and making notoriety and becoming wealthy and famous off of the pain and suffering of others. And when you look at what happened, in my opinion, to the Black Lives Matter organization is, again, it got co-opted. And anytime you start putting money into people's faces, especially money into people who never had money before or never had that amount of money in their lives, problems arise and people tend to go astray. And here we are, and then when you look at how oppression works, when you look at how capitalism and white supremacy, racism, classism, how all of this works, the Black Lives Matter movement kind of came to be in 2013. And really the Black Lives Matter movement is just a rehash of the civil rights movement, a rehash of the Black Power movement. It's just an ongoing saga for justice, freedom, rights, equity for African Americans, Black Americans, people of color, what have you. But when you look at where it originated from in 2013, and again, it originated for Black LGBTQ plus women and women of color. And then it got co-opted and co-opted and co-opted and co-opted and co-opted. And here we are today. You got Tamika Mallory, and she's not the only one. There's many other people. What's his name? D-Ray or Durand, what have you. You got the Sean Kings. You got so many other people who, these are celebrity activists. It isn't to take away the work that they've done, because they have done good work. They have done work. I'm not taking that from them. But it's just odd seeing these people make all of this money. And we know now that Black Lives Matter, similar to the Umar Johnson situation with the FDMG school, similar to the NAACP, similar to the National Action Network, similar to many other organizations, similar to these churches, similar to these nonprofits, similar to these political parties. You got all these entities making money hand over fist, claiming to, be fighting for justice, equity, freedoms, and rights for Black people and brown people and people of color. Yet the NAACP been around since 1909. It's 2021, and we're in the same predicament. The Urban League, how long has that been around? You know, the National Action Network, how long has that been around? Black Lives Matter, you know, again, Dr. Umar Johnson and the FDMG school, again, 11 years. My point is, as time goes on, these churches, hundreds of years, okay, as time goes on, it's like they're all raising all of this money and finances, yet the black community is in poverty, impoverished, generation after generation after generation, decade after decade after decade, century after century after century. At what point do we all look around and realize, you know, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong with this picture. And I'm not, again, when I say this, I'm not trying to hate on Tamika Mallory, Sean King, D-Ray, or, you know, Hassan, or anybody, because like I said, they have done work. They have advocated. They have fought and what have you. But there is a lot of discrepancies here. Okay? Just like during this whole ongoing global pandemic, COVID-19, again, Black Lives Matter, the organization, has made millions of dollars, yet black people in America are literally dying disproportionately from COVID, have been suffering disproportionately with the job loss, not having access to pay rent, to get health care, to get and where is Black Lives Matter organization? Where is that money? Where is the NAACP? Where is the National Action Network? Where's the Urban League? Where's all of these churches? Where's Umar Johnson? Did he have a fund to help black folks or the black kids that he cares about? I mean, I'm just being honest. Nobody asked these questions. Again, this is one, I made a video and I'm gonna try to link it. I'm gonna edit it to link it in the description box of this so y'all can see the video I made almost, like I said, 2 years ago. And this further just puts my point. You know, we're honestly, no one knows where the money is. The money is never being accounted for. The material issues of black Americans, brown Americans, people of color continue to stay the same. And yet we keep seeing our suffering literally being marketed and capitalized upon, yet we're never benefiting from any of it. And our own people are screwing us over. I mean, it is what it is. That's always been the case. That's nothing new. You feel me? And I'm going to say it again. Hassan Campbell was right. You know, I'm going to give credit where it's due. I don't agree with everything that he says clearly, but I will give credit where it's due. And he been said this. And like I said, you sit up here, you look at Tamir Rice's mom. You look at Michael Brown's mom. Again, y'all sitting up here doing Grammy performances. Y'all done set up here and marketed Black Lives Matter. Now it's on every t-shirt, sticker, bumper sticker. Everybody making money because they got Black Lives Matter hashtagged on something. Yet, Tamir Rice family, are they taken care of? Are their bills paid? Do they got food? Do they have shelter? Are they in therapy and counseling? Are you making sure they're okay? Are there scholarships? What's going on? Michael Brown's family, what's going on? Rakia Boyd's family, what's going on? Renisha McBride's family, what's going on? I can name so many other people. You know, John Crawford, what's going on? So many people have been murdered and killed. And again, is anybody checking on the families, making sure the kids and the family and the community is okay? No, but you sitting up here doing Grammy performances and shit. And then I'm going to say this. Quiet as it's kept. That's the same thing with a lot of these celebrities, though. You feel me? And then that's just it. When did being an activist turn into you becoming a celebrity? I'm not saying you don't deserve praise and recognition, love, support, because you are doing an amazing thing. And it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of pain and suffering. And it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of sacrifice that goes into this. And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. But I'm just saying, after a while, it just looks like we're constantly losing focus of what we need to be doing. And we're never really serving the purpose of the people. We're never really serving the community. We're never really getting anywhere. It's just talking point after talking point. And I'm just confused, like, that's capitalism, that's white supremacy, that's racism, that's oppression. They've literally found a way to market the revolution, the fight for freedom. They done turned a way to market that. It's cool now to be radical, even though it's all performance. Because at the end of the day, are you really about this shit? Are you really ready to make the sacrifices that it takes to get to liberation for our people? No, most of us are not, including me. I can admit that. But then I can't admit I'm an ethical shopper. There's a reason why I don't have a bunch of furniture. There's a reason why I don't do a lot of shopping. How many of you boycotted Amazon? How many of you made a conscious decision to boycott Amazon? Or at least share the information if you couldn't physically or financially do it? How many of you take the time to support local businesses and buy from people that you know and support Black and brown businesses and people of color businesses, women businesses, LGBTQ plus businesses? How many of you volunteer a few times a week, a few times a month, a few times a quarter, a few times a year back in your community? It's little things that we all can be doing. Each one teach one, each one help. Little things that we can all do. Hell, if it's $20 a month that you donating, that's major. If you're donating, 2-3 hours a week, 2-3 hours a month to your community to clean up, to help out, to educate, whatever it may be, that's major. It's little things that we can do. But yeah, I'm just giving credit where it's due. Hassan was right. Hassan Campbell, Poppy, the big YouTuber, was correct about the Black Lives Matter organization. Notice I keep saying organization because the Black Lives Matter movement, as I stated, is literally a continuation of the Black Power movement, of the Civil Rights movement. It's a continuation. The movement is alive and has been alive, and local chapters are doing more for their local communities than the actual organization. I'm just being real. In many cases, when you look at the Black Lives Matter organization, it's kind of like a rebirth of the Black Panther Party, because in many cases, local Black Panther Party chapters was doing more than the actual organization. Just like in many cases, local Black Lives Matter chapters are doing way more for their communities than the actual national organization. I'm just being honest. Don't take a rocket scientist to know that. You can look around and see for yourself. Like I said, they're actually grassroots. They're actually on the ground. They're actually giving out mutual aid and assisting their people right then and there. You feel me? So if you want to donate to a local Black Lives Matter chapter. Don't donate to the national one. Donate to local ones, okay? You can find them in your local cities, okay? All right? Do that. Donate to your local grassroots activists and organizations. Give mutual fund in your neighborhood, in your community, in your city. All right? Donate at the soup kitchen. Go volunteer at the soup kitchen. Go volunteer, if you have local community cabinets and pantries, drop some fresh fruits and vegetables. Drop some non-GMO food over there. Drop some organic food over there. We can do stuff like that. You feel me? You can do little things like that. If you can boycott, things and make ethical decisions when you do spend your money, that's also a plus. And I'm going to have videos where I talk about that more in depth. But in this video, I'm just saying, Hassan Campbell, Poppy, was correct, was right. is right about the Black Lives Matter organization. Because that's some shiesty shit, you know, and that's the same thing, but like I said, history repeats itself. And again, you got all of these nonprofits, all of these organizations, all of these churches. Everybody is making money hand over fist, yet the Black community remains in the same predicament. What is really going on? These are questions that we need to really start asking ourselves, because it's getting to the point where we no longer, first of all, I don't know how we have been ignoring the multiple elephants in the room, but at this point in time, we really can no longer ignore the obvious elephants in the room. You feel me? Where is all this money going? How come there's no checks and balances? Again, I'm going to say it. We all going off on Umar Johnson. And don't get me wrong, Umar wrong. There's a lot of shady shit there. Dr. Johnson is wrong. FDMG, that 11 years wrong. But my thing is this. We going off on Umar Johnson. In the meantime, have you talked to your churches? Because let's be real. If we're going to go off on Umar, you need to also look at all these Black churches. Pentecostal, Kojic, Baptist, Mission. Listen, they all need to be chin checked, because again, you got all these churches in the community. In the meantime, here we are going through global pandemics, and many of these churches were unable to do any real help, but yet every time you turn around, we tithing. Same thing with these nonprofits. Again, every time you turn around, oh, this nonprofit's in here and they got a grant to do blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, the problem is still there, even though they got the grant. Where is the money going? Who is being served? Who is being helped? Same thing with the NAACP, National Action Network, Black Lives Matter movement, etc., etc. Where is the money going? Same thing with these political parties, okay? Democrats, Republicans. Where is the money going? It's just time for people to start asking, wait a minute, if you're supposed to be getting all this money and it's supposed to be helping our community, how come we in the same predicaments? Why are we still suffering? These are the questions that everybody needs to start asking themselves. Critical thinking. And I'm not sitting up here trying to place blame necessarily. Not necessarily. You know, not necessarily. I'm not. Not necessarily. But what I am saying is, accountability goes to everybody, including myself and including you. And we all have to take accountability somewhere. And if we want to see things improve, not only within our own individual lives and families and communities, but the Black community, the brown community, the people of color community, the world at large, then we're going to all have to take that accountability. I'm out.